So, weiter geht's mit Genshin und direkt wieder ins Getümmel mit der Not Sasayu. Ins Getümmel mit der Archon Quest. Go to the place Melos mentioned. Ja, komplett random einfach an der Mauer außen. Oh Mann. Es ist schon immer wieder geil. Achso, Pyro. Wenn sie geraten das Fass oder was? When all returns to the waters.
According to Malus's info, the synth production base is underwater. Let's go and try to find the entrance.
Das wiederum ist interessant. Okay. Damit habe ich jetzt nicht gerechnet. Salasia Lane. War ich hier schon mal unten? So halb. Oh, das ist ein Teleporter. Zack. Zack. Und zack. Dupdi-dupdi-du. Ich hasse es, Sachen zu aktivieren unter Wasser. Immer wieder merkwürdig. So. Dupdi-dupdi-du. Da ist eine Kiste. Ah, da ist der Eingang. Ne, ist das der Eingang? Ja. Oh, man wird unter Wasser gezogen. Sehe ich das richtig? Keine Sphäre, die man betritt. Interessant. Damit hätte ich jetzt nicht gerechnet.
Finally found it. Huh. So this is the entrance that leads to the synth production base. It sure doesn't seem out of the ordinary at all.
Wieso hallen wir so? Wir sind unter Wasser. Es müsste eigentlich weniger laut sein, aber okay. Well, I don't want it to stand out. Yes, but I'm sure what we find inside will be extraordinary.
Ah, you're right. An important place like this is bound to have a ton of protective measures and mechanisms. Navia's probably arguing up a storm right now to stall for us.
Meanwhile, inside the Opera Epic class. Oh, interessant.
It would appear that I must repeat my question again, Mr. Tartaglia. Do you accept the charge that you are the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system, or the reason why I'm being charged with something I've never even heard of. However, I did hear that people who have been charged can choose to participate in a duel to clear their name. Is that right? In which case, as long as I accept the charge, I can have an all-out fight with that champion duelist Clorend, right?
Hat sich selber angezeigt, damit er das machen kann, habe ich recht? Oh mein Gott.
I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing offers I've ever received. When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back. Real disappointing.
Hey! Don't you understand? You're currently the prime suspect for a major case. This isn't the place for you to be looking for fights.
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to lecture me on the ways of the Opera House. Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the kind of student that learns best in the heat of battle.
No. That's not what I meant.
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant is going poorly, and we have made very little progress. In that case, let me explain everything from the very beginning again. The goal of this trial is to determine the culprit behind the serial disappearances case.
That case had nothing to do with him. You've got the wrong man.
Huh? What's going on? Why is she interjecting again?
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui Harbingers.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings. I only tolerated your behavior last time because you were able to provide the court with a key eyewitness. But that was an exception rather than standard court protocol. I can very well charge you with contempt of court for your interjections.
Oh, please. Did you ever think I had any respect for this place's pointless theatrics? We can put that discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to charge the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. And if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia here will be proven innocent by default, correct?
Oh, a young lady has charged in and offered to clear my name. How fascinating. Well, I'd gotten half bored to death by all these rules and procedures anyway, so I'll take you up on that offer. So, Your Honor, is there nothing else for me to do now?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss Navia, who is the person you would like to charge instead?
That person is...
Wieso muss ich jetzt extra nochmal den auswählen? Suspect analysis, commanding information regarding the Gardex and investigation results, bla 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 bla. This person is now, muss ich das, ja, muss ich.
Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabriere.
Huh? What confrérie? Never heard of them in my life.
I've heard of them, but weren't they Spina di Rosula's sister organization?
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia, that charging someone is an incredibly serious matter. Committing to the charge also means taking on the legal responsibilities associated with it.
Uff. Oder wir besuchen sie im Knast und nicht Tartaglia. Falde, whatever. Interessant.
And if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may also be charged with the crime of making a false accusation. Knowing this, do you still wish to charge this man?
Yes, I do.
In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Miss Navia and attorneys, please take your places on the court. Members of the guards, please contact Mr. Marcel right away so that he may stand trial. Mr. Marcel, you will not require an attorney. Is that correct?
Apologies. It all just happened so quickly. I still haven't figured out what's going on. I think an attorney won't be necessary. This is probably just a misunderstanding between me and Navia.
Very well. In that case, since both sides have now arrived, Miss Navia, please present your charges.
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago, to the case of Callus the Unfaithful. Only through elucidating what really happened in that case can we connect all the dots for the serial disappearances case.
Navia, do you really think that I was the one who killed your father? Come on, why would I do that? Callus was my benefactor, and remember both you and I only ran to the scene when we heard the sound of a gun. If that's enough to make me a suspect, wouldn't that make everyone at that banquet a suspect as well?
I think there's no point in getting into the specifics right now. The audience doesn't even have the big picture yet. Even I'm struggling to remember some details of that case.
Exactly correct, Your Honor. I must refresh everyone's memory about that case before I can explain my charge and reasoning.
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage.
Okay, what?
On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of Cabriere.
Ich will meinen Hydrokuli einsammeln. Ist das in dem komischen Hotel oder was? Das müsste so aus irgendwie.
During the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard.
Er hat gesagt, er hat nur einen gehört.
When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun, while his acquaintance Jacques lay dead from a gunshot wound.
Ist das da oben Callas? Der sieht ein bisschen jung aus.
The guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. As a result, they concluded that the suspect's first shot must have missed, while the second must have taken Jacques' life. The suspect did not dispute this conclusion, and also declined to defend himself in court. Instead, he chose to prove his innocence through a duel.
Ah, nee, das ist Callas.
Callus was defeated by champion duelist Clarand in the ensuing duel, and soon succumbed to the injuries.
Mhm.
These are the known facts about the case.
The one with the motive to kill was Jacques, not my father. And even so, Jacques still had no reason to pull the trigger. In truth, the third person shot Jacques first, and was shot in turn by my father when my father seized the gun from him. After that, the true culprit turned the third person into water, erasing all traces of him from the scene. Thank you for the summary, Your Honor. Of course, the guard's conclusion appeared quite sensible to us at the time. However, we should revisit the case now that we've gained new information about the abilities of water from the primordial sea.
So, Bankett und beide, ja, Monster said owned beide Konferenz auf Cabaret. Okay, es war deren. Ja. 2 gunshots during the banquet or to who had a motive to kill. According to the investigating colors, who had a motive to kill, murdered Jack. Nee, hat er nicht. Records, case records, clothing of an unknown person. The people from das.
The testimony of the victim's family confirms that Jacques had thoughts of assassinating Callus when he set out for the banquet. However, in the end, he reconsidered, and instead shared everything with Callus, hoping to seek the latter's protection. Unfortunately for Jacques, the true culprit had already considered this possibility, and had sent out another assassin.
The scene just arrived the scene from previous cars with a gun while his acquaintance lay dead from a gunshot wound. Based on the investigation done then, there was no possibility that anyone else could have done the deed and escaped, and Callus was lost behind a loophole. Afterward, conducting a re-investigation, it is now said that Callus did not bring a gun with him. Moreover, details of the case point towards the possibility of a third person. Das sind die Sachen, die Wäsche, oder?
Something's not right.
Okay, also nicht. Also da. Das meine ich.
This assassin first shot Jacques, then turned to shoot Callus, only for Callus to wrestle the gun from him and kill him instead.
Because of events, the guards investigation did not find any clues. As a result, they concluded that someone the shot must have missed, but the second must have taken Jacques' life. The deduction is based on the assumption that there is no third person on the scene, but it turns out that there is a method that can cover. Ja, jetzt müssen die Dinger.
A pile of clothing was found at the scene. The guards once believed they were used by Jacques as a costume to disguise himself, but now it is clear that the clothes were proof that there was a third person at the scene, and that they were turned into water after committing the murder. Since it was raining that day, the culprit was confident that they could use the rain to wash away all traces of their dissolved accomplice. Realizing this, the true culprit caused the hired assassin to dissolve into water, leading everyone to believe Callus was responsible for Jacques' murder. This is the true version of events.
So that's what happened. Wait, you're telling me something as dangerous as water from the primordial sea has been used for all these years?
What a great theory. It also explains Callus's and Jacques' respective motives. I guess they didn't shoot each other after all.
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime. You should provide a rebuttal if you wish to prove your innocence.
Ah, but I think I agree with everything Navia just said. In fact, there was nothing in her speech that directly implicated me.
Then, may I ask some questions? In my opinion, we primarily need to determine 2 things. 1, do you have the evidence to back up your claims?
I'm afraid not. At least not at this very moment.
Boo! If you don't have any evidence, you should just go home!
I may not have the evidence with me, but I know where I could go to collect it. If we look up the deserted clothes against a record of people who went missing around the same time, we should be able to find a match. Considering the serial disappearances case, the guards probably kept careful records of all missing persons from around that time, regardless of age or gender.
That makes sense to me. Monsieur Neuvillette, I would consider this to be a reasonable investigative direction.
Why do I feel like Farina's acting a little differently today?
Maybe she's scared of embarrassing herself again?
Alternatively, she's become more diligent after charging an innocent citizen in the last trial.
My second question has to do with the ensuing duel. If the truth is indeed as you described, then why didn't Mr. Callis explain himself in court? If he had testified that a person had been dissolved, he could have at least mounted a defense.
I've thought about this too, and the answer is actually pretty simple. He felt there were things that were more important to him. The dissolving power of water from the primordial sea is an important secret for the true culprit of the serial disappearances case. My father could have exposed it for all to see, but he chose to take it to the grave. At that time, Spina di Rosula was in dire straits, and his reputation had already been shattered. He had no guarantee that going forward with the truth would allow the culprit to be brought to justice. What was certain, however, was that it would paint a gigantic target on my back.
Boss once told me that Demoiselle had already been selected as the next target of the serial disappearances case.
What?
If the secret had gotten out, the culprit would have fought an all-out war with Espina right there and then. I wouldn't have been the only one in danger. All of us would have stood to lose our lives. Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter and determine that we were in the right. But what good would that do? How can a hollow verdict protect anyone? Had this opera house ever given my father any kind of confidence in its brand of justice, Spina di Rosula would have had no reason to exist. But by staying silent, we retained the ability to deter our opponents and continue the stalemate. I was able to become Spina di Rosula's president, which made me harder to target, as well as giving me more time to grow and learn. And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, I will do what this opera house cannot, and restore my father's truth and honor back to him.
So, you mean to say, your father intended to die in the duelist's ring?
That's right.
Do you have any proof?
Of course. All you need is to ask his opponent, Clarand. I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your support from the shadows. You don't have to do anything for my sake. But since he entrusted his will to you, Clarand, you should tell us the truth about his sacrifice.
So, during the duel, did you believe that Callis was intending to die?
Yes, I did. As a champion duelist, I've fought many battles and taken a countless number of dishonored lives. In my line of work, I've seen all kinds of people give their all for the faintest hope to continue living. Some were determined, others passionate, and some even manic and twisted. Just one look and I can tell if a duelist is hoping to live or if they're looking to die. I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callis never intended to leave the ring alive.
Since that's your testimony, I have no more questions. It appears there really are good grounds to reopen this case.
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between your father's case and the serial disappearances case.
Right? What she said was fascinating, but kind of beside the point.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial disappearances case?
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases are connected via a matter of timing. In my father's case, the culprit intended to kill both Jacques and Callis. As a result, they planned to act after hearing 2 gunshots. And, at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because they realized they were at risk of being identified. The culprit could only time their actions so precisely if they were already at the scene. Coincidentally, Marcel attended both the banquet and the trial.
So that's why you suspected me. Even after hearing your reasoning, I still can't help but find it a little preposterous. I'm used to it, though. You've always been an impulsive and sentimental child, Navia. It's one of your most endearing traits.
No need to appeal to pathos.
I won't try to refute your points one by one, but even if everything you just said was true, can you prove that I was the only person present at both events? On top of that, does a person have to be physically present to control the timing? Can't someone remotely monitor the place?
Oof. Don't know what she can say to that.
I know that even with that, you might still think you can reduce the list of suspects with some further investigations, until I'm the only one left on the list. Alas, who won't feel at least a little hurt by an accusation of murder from a girl you see as your own daughter? But if I were to dismiss this completely, you'd also think I'm not being considerate of your feelings. Ah well, let Uncle Marcel teach you another lesson. Do you know what the biggest flaw in your reasoning is?
I suppose you're gonna tell me anyways.
It's timing again. I'm a businessman by trade. From that standpoint, there's no reason for me to kidnap young women. It's a high-risk action with nothing to gain. In addition, I left my home in Snezhnaya when I was young to come to Poisson and work in some trade. My business only thrived when I received Callus's patronage.
Und es ist wieder zurück aus das Naja. Okay, gut. Enough said.
But the disappearances began before I ever stepped foot in Fontaine.
I do apologize, Demoiselle. This was my mistake.
No, it's not your fault. I'm sure he had come prepared.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? Would you like to check the date of my first business license against the first known case of the serial disappearances? You can also take a look at my border entry records, or ask my friends and family when I left Snezhnaya for the first time. Could those records and testimonies do something to appease the unspeakable anguish in your heart?
Seems like she got the wrong guy.
At this rate, Navia will be convicted for falsely accusing him.
I think you've done a superb job of dissecting your father's feelings as he neared the end of his life. But aren't you going against all of his wishes and expectations right now? He wished for you to become more rational, collected, and conscientious, instead of dwelling only on your own feelings. Once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings, and to stop rushing headlong into things, you'd have met most of his expectations.
This isn't just about me, and it never has been. The biggest difference between me and the rest of the victims is that I still have the ability to search for the truth, while that same agency has long been taken from them. The people whose families were destroyed by synth abuse, the people who lost their loved ones to the serial disappearances, and the people who suffered tragic ends due to their sense of justice. Many people's images are flashing before my eyes. I'm sure some are coming to those of you in the audience as well. And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vacher?
Huh.
Oh. So you do know that name?
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard of.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Ah, okay. Ich kann doch heute Abend noch da rein. Wieso bin ich jetzt schon drin? Ich will raus, ich will... Hallo? Kann ich wieder raus? Natürlich nicht. Ich wollte mein Hydrokuli einsammeln. Ach, come on. Okay. So. Ja, gut. Kuli kann nirgendwo hier lang. For whatever reason. Aha. Ist ein bisschen nervig, glaube ich, da reinzukommen. Und warum ist da oben ein riesiges Zahnrad? Ach so. Ist das wieder so ein Prinzip von, wir sind in der Sphäre, aber irgendwie auch nicht? Oder was? Ach. Okay, interessant. Dass man so aufgesplittet wird hier für die Story. Was zum Fick ist das? Party-Setup. Ach so. Ja, gut, okay, komm. Ich kann es nur so ändern. Ja gut, dann eigentlich fliegst nur du raus. Und der Rest kann so bleiben. So. Hi.
This is order.
Oh, neuer Gegnertyp. Was kann er denn so? Arithmetic Enhancer Mech. Aha. A machine created to complement energy defects and increase operational efficiency of Clockwork Maker. The OCR deployment energies have different enhanced effects, and this machine can also periodically energize energy, allowing it to replenish the power of nearby disabled Clockwork Maker that shares a similar energy source. After the energy is annihilated by an attack charged with the opposite signature, it will induce an overloaded state and... yeah. And... cause the machine to lose energy, requiring the machine to spend time on safe repairs before it can restore its energy generation function. Nochmal. Also, der boostet quasi wieder andere hoch und wenn man ihn wieder kaputt macht, muss er selber erstmal wieder. Okay. Also ein Booster eigentlich nur. Gut. Nothing more, nothing less. Das ging zu schnell. Gut. Ist hier irgendwo was? Ich sehe gerade nichts. Start. Start was? Kann ich runterfallen?
Is it because of this mechanism in the middle? That guy really prepared a lot of stuff for this place.
Mhm. Kann ich? Ich kann. Achso, ich hätte von da aus rüberkommen können. Okay. Mhm. Oh, hier ist so eine Kiste. Was ist, wenn ich die Kiste nicht mitnehmen? Kriege ich die ja nie wieder? Okay. Es sieht so gut aus. Wir sind in Rapture angekommen. Cool. Irgendwie random, aber.
Paimon thinks we need to go up, but Paimon doesn't see a way. Let's take a look around. Maybe we'll find a hidden mechanism that'll show us the way up.
Oh Gott. Unter Wasser. Sphären. Rätsel. Wieso komme ich jetzt nicht mehr aus dem Wasser raus? Hallo? Wow. Okay. Tauchen. Zack. Zack. Mhm. Kann ich hier wieder raus? Ja, hier kann ich raus. Dann kann ich dahin. Gut, hier gibt's rein gar nichts. Zack. Nein, runter ins Wasser. Mhm, der hält einen Topf. Cool. So. Start. Oh. Okay. Ja, da kommt ein Wirbel und dann kann man keine Ahnung was machen.
The water level is rising. Now we can swim to the top.
Ja.
But this is still a ways away from where we need to go.
Frage. Sehr wichtige Frage.
Quake.
Rest and rebuild.
So. Kann ich? Also bleibt kein Hydro. Scheiße. Das ist ja eigentlich sogar. Ach, das bringt Kokumi ja gar nicht mal so viel eigentlich. Warte, halt. So. Hä? Also ich komme auch so hier hoch. Just saying. Aber gut, ich muss erst einen Schalter betätigen. Eigentlich bin ich nur auf die Szene gespannt, die man im Trailer gesehen hat. Alles andere ist mir gerade relativ egal. Habe ich die Dinger nicht schon mal irgendwann irgendwo gesehen? So neu sind die gar nicht. War gut. Zack. Dupdidu, so. Gut. Wenig Menschen dafür, dass hier eigentlich Alkohol hergestellt wird. Also Drogenalkohol. Ich meine, Alkohol ist... alle alkoholischen Getränke sind Drogen, aber das sind halt Hardcore-Drogen. Das sind quasi Drogen in flüssiger Form. Also, ja. Alkohol an sich sind auch schon Drogen, aber nicht die harte Art Drogen. Mhm. Ich habe ein witziges Video gesehen zu Nivellette. Anscheinend hat er irgendeine Pässe-Fähigkeit, mit der, wenn er im Wasser schwimmt, Delfin-Flips aus dem Wasser herausmachen kann. Warum nur er das kann, naja, keine Ahnung. Oder das ist ein Item, was man bekommt in 4.1. Aber es war interessant. Das sah sehr interessant aus. Und er kann über Wasser schweben, während er seine Charge-Attacks quasi macht, weil er sich dann irgendwie in die Luft bewegt, während er sich bewegt. Und ja, er kann über Wasser dann damit laufen. Und vor allem, glaube ich, länger als Kokumi mit ihrem Burst. Also, Ich habe halt Kommentare drüber gelesen, dann stand da Power Creep. Nee, ich glaube, das Video hieß sogar Power Creep Kokumi. Oder so. Ach, Lika-Humor ist witzig. Ich wollte gerade sagen, da komme ich auch so rüber, notfalls. Bin ich gleich durch?
Gather. Order guide you.
Ich bin gespannt, warum Chalde ausrastet.
The wind rises. Search
Oh,
for
das fällt nebenan wieder dieser Kacktöter. Oh Mann. Ich wollte mir schon die ganze Zeit irgendwo aus der Tasche neben mir den Hanuta-Riegel gönnen, aber irgendwie komme ich da nicht ran. Also ich finde keinen Moment, wo ich mal kurz pausieren kann. Aber ist er gar nicht weg. Also und jetzt ist wieder normal nur eine Höhle oder was? Ist klar. Was zum Fick ist das?
After all that, we finally made it to the innermost sanctum. Though, as expected, the mastermind isn't here.
Weil er wahrscheinlich im Courtroom sitzt, aber okay. If I'm not mistaken, he's being charged by Navia as we speak.
That's right. Then let's hurry up and find some evidence so we can get back to the Opera House and help Navia.
Hätten die länger reden können. Ich habe die Riegel gerade geholt. So, hier ist die Kiste schon mal. Achso. Was?
What's all this? Aw, it's a bunch of really cute things. Pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box.
There's a name too.
Oh, Paimon sees it too, but why are all these cute things labeled with different girls' names?
They probably belong to the victims.
Huh? You mean the girls from the serial disappearances? They were brought here?
Ja, zumindest.
They were turned into water. And all the boxes of things. These names. That means... Oh, this is terrible.
Das Problem ist, ich sehe es jetzt schon kommen, dass diese ganze Unterwassereinrichtung hochgejagt wird. Damit keine Beweise übrig bleiben. Und das Gericht denkt so, wie, wird was hochgejagt in dem Moment, wo da was sein sollte? Nö, ist nicht unser Problem. Aber Gott, so ist es halt immer. The missing person's possessions. You discovered objects within the containers labeled with the names of those who owned them within the depths of the headquarter. The names here must have something to do with the victims in the serious disappearance case. This might be proof that this was their final stop. Aber warum? Warum hat man das gemacht? Das wird interessant. Das Warum. Nicht das Wie und Wo, sondern das Warum. Welchen Zweck das? Excellent Bookshelf.
Let's see what's written here. Nothing escapes Detective Paimon's eyes. Callus. Navia's father. Oh, this seems to be an investigation report on him.
Ich hoffe, wir sind so schlau und nehmen die ganzen Sachen mit hier raus. Und lassen ihn nicht einfach hier liegen, damit die Garde das angucken kann später. It's probably related to his and Jacques' case.
Yep, it's about finding someone to assassinate Jacques and Callus because of a lack of confidence that Jacques himself would go through with it. This should prove the existence of the third person, right?
Is there anything else?
We still have not determined the exact content of the key information Callus has passed on to certain members of his organization. The old dog's a real menace to deal with. Even if he abides by the promise he's made to us, he will still have the upper hand. He can act whenever he wants to make our lives miserable. The only option left is to remove him from the picture entirely. I concur. Let's send someone to kill him. He won't declare war as long as we don't touch Navia. Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups.
Ja, und ja, Es wird irgendwie ausgedacht, dass wir das nicht nutzen können. The plan is well in advance.
They're all just so evil.
Oh, clues concerning the Callus case that were found inside the bookshelf. The mastermind did not believe that Jack would do the deed. Consistent in the third party to ensure Callus' death, the content that followed also defined the culprit's motive to some extent. Lass ich raten. Das ist das komische Absinth-Zeug. Das ist nicht auch ein Alkohol so? Ich glaube schon. Entweder ist es Absinth-Zeug oder ist es Primordial Seawater, eins von beiden. Oder ist beide schon gemischt. Irgendwie so.
Whoa! There's so much synth here! And so many bottles of ingredients that probably just contain the waters of the Primordial Sea.
Okay, es ist Sint, nicht Absinth. Absinth ist das Real-Life-Alkohol-Ding-Zeugs. Aber gut, komm, das, naja. There's so many.
Mixing in progress. Ready to drink? Stock sample? Huh. They've also got all the synth pretty clearly labeled. Whoa, there's even fruit-flavored synth?
Well, that only proves that this is where they produce Synth.
Yep, it's super obvious.
Synth, a popular potion circulating quite widely. It gives the drinker a very pleasant experience for a short time, but its side effects are equally strong. The producer uses these special characteristics to earn a massive profit from its trade. Erinnere mich gerade an den, ich glaube, was war denn das? War es Mondzucker aus Elder Scrolls für die Khajiits? So ein bisschen? Table.
What's this over here? Looks like some kind of place for research. Experiment number 16 aims to verify Jacob Ingold's research conclusions on the Primordial Sea and use his theory as a foundation to achieve a breakthrough. The experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the Primordial Sea. Female specimens 22, 23, and 24 were dissolved.
Calm down, Paimon.
Sorry, Traveler. Paimon will try her best. It's just that Paimon's never read something so scary before. How can someone write something that terrible in such a matter-of-fact tone? You read the rest. Paimon's too scared to keep going.
The goal of the researcher is to save his lover, a woman called Veneer, who was dissolved. Ah, oh mein Gott. Das heißt, der Übeltäter war Cher. Und wollte seine Freundin retten, die ins Wasser gefallen ist und so inszeniert wurde. Deswegen hat sie auch gesagt, wir sollen ihm sagen, er soll aufhören zu suchen. Damit er aufhört damit. Und weiter Frauen in Wasser verwandelt. Oh mein Gott, okay. Wir haben den Plot von Fontaine.
So that's why he did all of these experiments. Wait, did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving people over and over? That's just insane!
There's another name here, Bashir.
Huh? Isn't that the name you heard by the fountain? Paimon thought he was an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case.
No, he is the researcher.
You mean Vache is the one who did all of these... experiments?
Yes, he signed off on a bunch of the experiment reports. The voice I heard from the fountain was probably Veneer.
So that's it! only took his lover and... No, that's not it either. If that's the case, why would he want people to resurface from the water?
There must be more to this than meets the eye.
In any case, Paimon will write it all down.
Aha, Marcel hieß vorher, also wahrscheinlich Vacher. Vacher's Experimental Records. Experiment number 16 aims to verify Jacob Ingot's research conclusion on the primordial sea. Also, das war das, was ich gerade gelesen habe. Gut. Mhm. Andere dumme Frage. Warum kommt das von unten nach oben? Nur so ganz nebenbei. So, ich wollte einen Skill nutzen. Scheiße, ich wollte hier rüberfliegen. Geht aber nicht. Gut. Da war ich. Also der Radius gleich nicht bis da. Ah, da ist nur das. Und hier müssten nur die beiden sein. Ja, gut. Und den Pool.
Oh, look! There's an important looking basin over here. And it's full of water.
Wisst ihr sicher, dass es Wasser ist? That must be the water from the primordial sea.
That means this is where they make all the synth. And that special water is the main ingredient. If you dilute it with normal water, you'll get synth. But the pure stuff can dissolve a human. Paimon will take notes on this incriminating evidence.
Primordial seawater pool. The pool from the headquarters is filled with water from the primordial sea. The mastermind can use this create synth and directly use it to destroy people. Ich finde schön, wie solche Anlagen, solche Orte nie richtige Fabriken sind, sondern einfach nur irgendwelche Höhlen. Voll klinisch rein und so. Mhm.
We've looked at almost everything here, and it seems like our theories were spot on. But...
Who really is this? Vacher. Ja, Marcel wahrscheinlich.
yeah, we haven't found anything that reveals his true identity. No wonder even Neuvillette wasn't able to find anything. Whoever it is probably destroyed everything to do with that name a long time ago.
Oh, das ist Neuvillette selber, aber das wär schon hart.
That way, even if we bring all this back to the opera, we won't be able to identify the true culprit.
Clever, but maybe not clever enough. Let's look again.
Sure thing. Paimon won't admit defeat to this guy either.
Wieder die Kiste.
You take that side and Paimon will take this side. Check everything carefully. We'll find something for sure.
After some time.
Nothing at all. And Paimon can't even find snacks either.
Come on, I found it.
Whoa,
Ja, was?
really?
It.
Let Paimon see. Vinier. Isn't that Vacher's lover's name? Then you found her diary. Let's see. Aw, it's just a normal diary chronicling their love story. She was so sweet, too.
Take a look at this.
Paimon feels even worse for her now.
Take a look at this page. She made a list of baby names. Und dann finden wir da auf, Marcel. Luada irgendwas, keine Ahnung.
So many! A whole page's worth! But they're all crossed out. Was she unhappy with all of them? The final name she decided on was... Marcel. Wait, but Marcel's pretty old. Has this case been going on for so long that he's Vacher and Vinier's grown son?
Entweder das oder Vacher hat Marcels Namen angenommen. Angedenken an die Frau. I figured it out. Let's go, Paimon.
Hey! Paimon still hasn't figured it out yet.
Mir fällt gerade ein. Ich meine, je nachdem wie advanced sie sind, können sie einfach die Schrift von den beiden dann vergleichen. Die wird dann nämlich nicht geändert haben, von heute auf morgen. Veniers Notebook. A notebook belonging to a lady named... Achso, heißt es Veniers Notebook. Ja, scheiße, das ist nicht seins. Records many... Aber, doch, seine Unschrift haben wir trotzdem. Records many stories of a time with her lover, Vashea. On one of these pages she prepared many names for the future child, and the name she settled on in the end was Marcel.
And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vache?
Huh.
Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard of.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Navia! We're back!
As expected of my partner. I just knew you'd return in the nick of time.
Just how often do you intend to flout the rules of this court?
It's all right, Monsieur Nervalette. Given their confidence, I expect they've found the crucial evidence.
You say you've never heard of Vashea. Oh, jetzt muss ich ja selber raussuchen, was. Ja. Cast Mitigation, nö. Das, ja, Vashea ist Metal Records eigentlich. This isn't it, better keep looking. What? Nee, das ist es nicht. Hidden Base. Irrelevant. Wenn es nicht das ist, was dann? Das Buch hiervon? Ja, okay, gut.
But the truth of it, Marcel, is that you've always been Vache.
Huh?
We've investigated your lair and we already know everything! After your lover, Venier, was dissolved, you kept abducting young women to experiment on the hopes of bringing her back to you! You even created Marcel as a new identity and destroyed all records of your past as Vache!
So that's it. Even the villains in opera performances rarely go that far. And with that, Marcel's motive has now been established.
This information regarding your past also dismantles your prior timing defense. Well, Marcel, do you know where you went wrong? You fixated your gaze on the lover that passed away, instead of paying attention to the living people around you. So, you never noticed how we changed, or how we grew as individuals.
You also never understood Boss's real expectations for his daughter.
Or our determination to see things through.
Your determination.
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to defend yourself. Otherwise, the trial will move on to the next stage.
Do you really think I wanted to do any of this? Pay attention to you? What for? Have you ever paid attention to me? Ever empathized with my pain? Ever known how it feels to watch the love of your life dissolve right in front of your eyes? No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades ago, even the officers from the Maison Gardiennage were laughing at me. They said there's no way a human being can turn into water. So I must have gone mad from grief. Vinier's death was brushed away by all of you as if it didn't matter at all. Well, now you know, don't you? Ha! Well, it's too late now. All those who were dissolved are gone forever. You only have yourselves to blame. You set up this ornate opera house in pursuit of your so-called justice, your beloved drama, while turning a blind eye to the suffering of the people. Venier is dead. We promised each other that we would always be together. Wherever she goes, I will follow. But I'm not from this blasted place, so I can't be dissolved, no matter what I do.
Hey, is that water from the primordial sea that he's drinking?
I can't dissolve! Can't dissolve! Can't dissolve! Do you all see? I can't go, I can't follow. So if I can't go where she is, What choice do I have but to try to bring her back? I did all of that, and in the end, that accursed Callus still got the better of me. I spent my entire life living on pins and needles, only to get stabbed by his idiot daughter at the very end.
The suspect is exhibiting signs of mental distress. Guards, please restrain him.
Don't touch me! Don't anybody come near me! I still need to save Vignere. Her promise. We made a promise. Vignere. Vignere! Please, Vignere. Don't think badly of me. All I want to do is fulfill our promise.
At this point, the verdict of this trial is clear. With Mr. Marcel's conviction, the charges against Mr. Tartaglia no longer have any basis.
Fine by me. I was in a bad mood, but after a show like that, I'm actually feeling pretty good.
Traveler, please submit all the evidence you have collected to the guards, so that I might review and summarize the truth behind the serial disappearances case. The man now known as Marcel was originally named Vacher and worked as an adventurer with his partner and lover Vignere. During an underwater expedition, Vignere accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea and was dissolved in front of Vacher as a result. Vacher learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others and began to kidnap young women for research, with the goal of discovering a method to restore Vignere back to life. To cover his tracks, he invented the new alias of Marcel and began to operate a business in Poisson. During the course of his research, Vacher discovered that a diluted concoction of water from the primordial sea can induce feelings of euphoria, and began to manufacture and market synth. However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his continued research and expanded the scope, he came into conflict with Spina di Rosula. After exchanging blows with Spina di Rosula for many years, Vacher decided to assassinate their president Callus at a banquet. Although the assassination did not go as Vacher expected, he was able to turn Callus into the murder suspect by dissolving the assassin he sent to the scene. And just recently, Vacher attempted to frame Linny as the culprit of the serial disappearances case, using a similar method. However, his attempt to frame Linny failed, and the power of water from the primordial sea became public knowledge. This case also exposed enough of Vacher's machinations that he was eventually successfully charged in court. Thus concludes the enigmatic history of the serial disappearances case, with the truth revealed to all. The Oratrice will now deliver the final verdict regarding the charges against Mr. Vacher.
Das Ding betrügt jetzt, oder? Und spricht ihn frei.
According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Mr. Vacher is guilty.
Okay, danke.
Guards, take Vacher away.
Danke fürs Enttäuschen. Für den Plot-Twist.
Good. It's what he deserves.
With that, the serial disappearances case is over now.
We really just witnessed history. Who would have thought the true culprit would be such a polite and well-spoken guy?
Yippee! We helped Navia bring the bad guy to justice! He's hurt so many innocent people and now he's finally getting what he deserves! Huh? Are you okay?
Na, wie ja. Na gut, es war noch ihr Onkel irgendwie.
Demoiselle, you were absolutely brilliant.
The day our late boss had always hoped for has finally come. You can rest easy now, knowing justice has been served.
Yeah. Yeah. It's finally over. It's all thanks to you guys. And my partner. See, Papa? Spina di Rosula's still doing well with me at the helm.
Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama? The villain has been caught, Justice has been served, past wrongs have been righted, and it's a big ol' happy ending. Since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way, I've still got some business to attend to. So, if you'll excuse me...
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
What now? None of this has anything to do with me.
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you, a verdict must also be made regarding the initial charge before the trial can conclude.
Oh, come on. Is this really necessary? Haven't you already caught the real criminal? Isn't it time for side characters like me to exit stage left?
Please respect the laws of Fontaine. This has always been the rule.
All right, but this sure is a lot of hassle. All I need to do is stand over there, right? Let's just get this over with.
Oh, jetzt geht's los wahrscheinlich.
Through evidence presented in the public trial that was just held, it has been established that Mr. Tartaglia has no direct connection to the serial disappearances case. The guilty party has been identified, and thus it is logical to suppose Mr. Tartaglia is innocent of the charges. We now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale to render the final verdict on the charges. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Mr. Tartaglia is guilty.
What?
Hey! That's not funny! Didn't you just say I'm supposed to be innocent? What's with this verdict? Is your justice machine malfunctioning?
Huh? This has never happened before. The Oratrice actually returned a different verdict from the Chief Justice.
I mean, have you ever heard of an innocent Fatui Harbinger? Do you think the Oratrice might have just convicted him on general principle?
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearances case? No matter what else he's guilty of, it shouldn't affect the verdict in this case, right?
Charlie has been declared guilty by the Oratrice. Just what is going on here?
The judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale is, by law, the final verdict of the court. We must accept the guilty verdict. Guards, please take the suspect into custody per court protocol.
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke. You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
He's activating his spell legacy!
I am sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld.
Okay.
Hey, Monsieur Novelette, what's going on? Shouldn't they have been cleared already?
Fand ich schön, fand's aber irgendwie lächerlich, wie einfach er jetzt ihn einfach ausgenockt hat in der Animation. Also, ja, irgendwie. Er hat nicht mehr den Modus aktiviert zum Kämpfen. Ich dachte, das Ding zieht an seinen Kräften, also an seiner Lebenskraft und so. Mehr oder weniger, aber gut. Interessant. Gut, das heißt, wir werden definitiv beim nächsten Mal ins Gefängnis gehen können. Was, glaube ich, schon bestätigt ist. Und dann werden wir da wahrscheinlich ihn treffen. Und ja, ich gehe davon aus, dass an 4.1 noch nicht Schluss mit der Ankündigung ist, oder? Würde mich arg wundern. Meistens in 4.2 mal erst die letzte Archon-Quest. Dann gibt es einen Puffer-Patch und dann gibt es meist ein neues Gebiet. Bisher zumindest gefühlt. Wobei, ja doch, nö, in der Summate auch. 2.1, 2.2 neue Gebiete, 2.3 war Puffer, glaube ich. 2.4 war Ökonomia. 2.5 war Puffer, 2.6 war Chasm. 2.7 war Delayed. Gab's 2.8, ja, Sommer-Event, genau. Und dann halt 3. 0, 3.1 hatte die Wüste. 3.2 hatte, glaube ich. Hatte 3.2 was Neues? Nee. 3.3 hatte dann die Wüste, glaube ich, oder? Weil in 3.4 habe ich dann die Wüste erst gemacht, wegen Elden Ring. 3.5 hatte nichts. 3.6 hatte dann das letzte Wüstengebiet. 3.7 und 3.8 hatten wir jetzt ja dann erst, da war nichts. Joa. Okay. So viel dazu. Ich fand es interessant, wie Furina jetzt über die Delusion anscheinend verwundert war. Eventuell kriegen wir da ja mal ein paar neue Lore-Drops zu. Aber im Ernst. Wer hat mit der Waage rumgespielt? Das wird interessant.
Apologies. This is also the first time I've encountered such a situation. However, according to the rules established at the conception of Fontaine's court system, the Oratrice's judgment is the final verdict of the court. All I do is follow court procedure. As for why the Oratrice arrived at the conclusion it did, you should probably ask someone more knowledgeable than me.
Ah, danke. Eve, if even the chief just doesn't know, then we have no choice but to ask the Archon herself.
Why are you looking at me? I had nothing to do with it! I don't know what happened there either! Hey, stop staring at me!
What does Lady Farina mean by that?
She says she has no idea either, but that's impossible. Didn't she create the Oratrice herself?
Wahrscheinlich nicht.
Yeah, so are the verdicts reliable or not? Can results like this really be called justice?
My dearest citizens, did you really think we'd allow an incorrect verdict to be handed out in this court? Did you really believe that the judgment could be mistaken or be the result of some sort of random mishap? Don't tell me you thought even I had been blindsided by the Oratrice's result.
But the way she looked just now, it was pretty obvious she had no idea what was going on.
However, given the state of things, I shall give you an explanation. Everything that just took place, including my supposed shock and bafflement, was a part of an elaborate performance, with every action meant to stir up drama and excitement. And, of course, for every performance there is a script. Everything has unfolded exactly as I expected from the very beginning. As the embodiment of the very concept of justice, the Oratrice shall never render an arbitrary judgment!
Oh mein Gott, ich kann sie absolut nicht hier ausstehen. Sie gesteht sich kein Fehlversagen ein. Oh mein Gott. Trash Archon.
If you thought Child had nothing to do with the serial disappearances case, it is only because you've been blinded by the superficial appearance of innocence. Everything he's done, not to mention the danger he poses, are beyond ordinary comprehension and completely unforgivable! All shall be revealed in time. You will come to understand my noble intentions, as well as the absolute correctness of the Oratrice's verdict. Now, having said that, although I hate to leave things hanging in suspense, it is now time for this performance to end. As the lead actress, I shall be the first to take my leave. Toodaloo!
Sie flüchtet
So
nur.
she chose to make her escape after all, did she?
Oh, ich mag ihn.
So you're saying we shouldn't put much stock into what she just said?
She probably just put on that performance to save face. As for the truth, it's unlikely that she actually has any idea.
Gut, das heißt, die erste Hälfte war 2 Trials und die zweite Hälfte der ganzen Archon-Quest-Reihe wird herausfinden, warum sie so ein verwöhntes Girl ist und warum die Maschine fehlgeschlagen hat. Way to pull the rug out from under her.
However, please be assured that I will continue to investigate this case in a personal capacity. Just as I promised, if the judgment has been incorrect, we will do our utmost to clear his name.
Alright. Even though we feel pretty badly for him, we'll take your word for it for now. After all, he's done plenty of bad stuff, so he should have known he'd go to prison someday, right?
Wow. So kann man es auch sehen. Ich meine, gut, andererseits, ja, er hatte seine Gründe wahrscheinlich wieder meistens, aber okay. So, Nivellette.
Oh, Monsieur Neuvillette, that power you showed when you took him down. Who are you really?
I'm the Chief Justice of Fontaine, of course. If officers of the law lack the strength and capability to enforce it, then it makes a mockery of justice.
Ich meine, es besteht, dass er keine Vision hat. Vision, Fragezeichen. Bisher ist auf jeden Fall irgendeine Art Elemental-Wesen. Ich glaube, Theorien sind, dass er der Hydro-Drache ist. In Menschengestalt. Oder ein Weishap in Menschengestalt. Er hat aber auch Style. Damn. Er ist auch ein Catalyst und ich weiß aktuell nicht, welchen ich ihm geben sollte. Ich meine, alle seine Skills scalen auf HP, das heißt, eigentlich ist der Battle Pass Catalyst für ihn ideal, würde ich mal behaupten. Der gibt so viel HP. Moment. 32 HP, wenn er nicht länger als 5 Sekunden auf dem Feld ist. Die Frage ist nur, ob sein Off-Field E-Skill so viel Damage macht, dass sich das lohnt. Okay, oh ja gut, und die EM halt. Low Base Attack macht es halt auch sinnvoll. Aber, ja. Ja, und Furina ist anscheinend Sword, das heißt, Damage dealt by Elemental Skill and Elemental Burst increased by 16%. Ich habe das Gefühl, das könnte ihre Waffe erstmal werden, oder? Könnte ich mir vorstellen, dass es ihre Waffe sein könnte. Ihre Free-to-Play-Waffe. Sofern sie nicht mit... Ja, da sie mit HP scalen zum Teil, aber... ja, mal gucken. Dann muss auf jeden Fall mal eine nützliche HP-Schwertwaffe her. Eine, die nicht 5 Stars hat und EM favorisiert. Ich habe eben beim Video gesehen, dass man von hier unten aus, wenn man Langeweile hat, bis da oben hin zum Sitz kommen kann. Beziehungsweise auch zu seinem Sitz. Mit Kasura und ja, halt allen Anime Boys quasi. Ist möglich, bringt aber glaube ich keine Achievements. Und da kann ich es ignorieren. So, Achievements, was habe ich bekommen? Tragedy repeats itself. Reveal the truth behind the serial disappearance case. Wäre cool, wenn wir doch noch eine Lösung finden, um das Ganze rückgängig zu machen. Können wir dem Typen noch sagen, dass seine Frau gesagt hat, er soll nicht weiter nach ihr suchen? Das hat sie anscheinend mitbekommen, was er getan hat. Oh. Ich glaube, wir sagen es ihm noch.
What are you doing? Quick, stop him! Traveler! Hey! Traveler!
Marcel! What are you doing over here?
Stop resisting arrest! Cease, or we'll add another charge to the list.
No, wait! I just want to ask the Traveler something. I'm not looking to run away. Please, just let me ask this one small thing.
Go on.
Thank you. I was being led away when I finally realized something. Where did you first hear the name Vacher? I erased all records of that name. So, unless...
Are you still trying to prove your innocence? Give it up. You've already been convicted.
Yes, I met her.
Really? You did? You're sure? You met her? But how could that be? How did you manage to do it?
It was around Fontaine of Lucine. Something to do with my sensitivity to the Hydro element.
The Fountain of Lucine? Then she's been so close to me all along. And I just never... Please give me a chance to talk to her again. Just let the traveler take me to the fountain to see her one last time. This is the last request I'll ever make in my life. You can do whatever you want to me afterwards. I don't care.
What? Give an inch and you want to take a mile? Do you think serial killers get to make requests like that?
Paimon agrees. Why should we give him what he wants when he's only done a ton of super terrible things?
Wenn nicht für ihn, dann für seine Frau.
This request, is it worth as much to you as your life?
Of course! Wait, no. It's worth even more than my life.
Humans. Will they betray the instinct to live just to satisfy spiritual needs?
Gott, er ist schon mal kein Mensch, er hat's gerade selber bestätigt.
Very well. I will grant your request.
Your Honor, I fear that...
I will go with him. You do not need to worry about any escape.
In that case, I shall leave him in your most capable hands, Chief Justice.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Aha, bring myself to Fontaine Plaza. Cool. Okay, er kriegt ein Happy End, mehr oder weniger. Ich meine, gut, er kriegt auch seine Strafe, von daher ist alles mehr oder weniger gut dann. Oratrice, Mechanique, die Analyse, Kardinal. Ja. Denkt euch doch die behinderte Namen aus. Doop-di-doop-di-doo. So. No, come on. Doop-di-doo. So. Und lief Opera House. Irgendwie? Es fühlt sich jetzt so blöd an wie ein Sumero. Wo man irgendwie so zur Hälfte jetzt irgendwie was fertig gemacht hat. Ja, Sub-Zero's Festival ist zu Ende. Wir haben herausgefunden, dass irgendwas da abgeht, aber dann haben wir erstmal 6 Wochen Pause. In dem Fall 5 Wochen. Aber gut, was soll's. Oh, ich habe noch einen Smite verdient. Warte mal, ist der letzte schon wieder 4 Stunden her? Ach du Scheiße. Bitte was? Mein gut, 19 Uhr irgendwas kommt hin. Habe ich da aufgenommen? Ja, da habe ich aufgenommen. Oh mein Gott. Fontaine of Lucine.
Is this the place? You said she's here, but what do I need to do to see her?
Back then, I drank water from the primordial sea. It heightened my sensitivity to the hydro element.
Yeah, and even Paimon could hear her after drinking that thing. Didn't you just drink a lot of it on the stage as well? Oh, in that case...
Vache!
Ah!
Yes, that's it! So you heard it too!
Vignier, it's me! It's me, Vache!
Vache? Vache?
I'm here! I'm here! Where are you, Vignier? I'm coming for you. I'm finally here for you.
Hey, wait! Be careful! Hey, wait!
Vignier, is that you? It's me, Vache! Vignier!
Vache? Why did you come? Didn't I say? You don't need to look for me. You look a lot older than I remember. How long has it been?
It's been more than 20 years. I've suffered for over 20 years since the day you left. All this time, only the thought of bringing you back has kept me alive. Nothing else mattered to me. I must be dreaming. Who would have thought I'd get the chance to tell you all of my feelings like this? Vignier, you are my everything. I really don't know how I could live without you.
But Vache, if you ask me, this world would be better off without you.
What are you saying?
If not for you, I would have finished my law degree and probably become a top-tier attorney one day.
Okay, what? Eine ganz andere Richtung. Okay, jetzt passiert irgendwie crazy shit anscheinend.
If not for you, I would have continued to pursue my love of the arts, and my works would have been displayed in the Palais Mermonia itself. If not for you,
I would at least have been able to take care of my mother. And she would not have grown old and died alone, with nothing but the tears on her cheeks. It's all because of your selfishness, Vache. It's all because of you.
You... Wait, you are not Vignier. Who are you?
You're right. I am not Vignier. I am the sacrifices. Every woman who died by your hand, as our bodies dissolved, our consciousnesses flowed back to the primordial sea. Our thoughts circulated endlessly within the primordial sea, and we were no longer individuals, but we became one, just as streams of water come together in the sea. I'm Cressy. I'm Lemony. I'm Azine. The only one I am not is Vignier.
Why? But then, where is Vignier?
She doesn't want to see you anymore. Every tendril of her consciousness is avoiding you. This is what you get for your selfishness. Your selfishness robbed us of our lives and our futures. You said time and time again that you'd do any and everything for her. But did you ever consider whether she'd want to see you do the things that you did? If she would despise you for what you became? You are a liar, a heartless murderer, and a cowardly narcissist. The only thing you are not is Vignier's beloved. From the moment your first victim died and her consciousness merged with Vignier's, she has had nothing but pure hatred for you.
It looks like I didn't meet Vignier, Bex, and Eva. They must have wanted me to lure Marcel here from the very beginning.
No! Vignier! She can't hate me. Let me see her, please. Have mercy.
You still don't understand. When I said don't look for me, that came from the real Vignier. She really doesn't want to see you anymore. But on top of that, she also said that because it's her final drop of pity for you. She said that because she knew that if you did come here, we will show no mercy to you.
Vache.
Vache? Vache. 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 Drown.
Later, the guards find that the culprit of the serious wins of young woman case Marcel approved. Was? Several days later. Was stand da jetzt? Praktisch shit. Ist er jetzt da am Brunnen gestorben direkt vor unseren Augen oder wo ist er gestorben?
Finally, we have some time to do shopping. Gosh, it's really been a long time since we've been able to relax.
Lass mich raten. Gleich leuchtet jetzt seine Vision einmal auf, damit wir uns um Tatsache kümmern. Irgendwie sowas. Shopping is stressful in its own way, so my legs are killing me.
Huh. Well met, partner. I knew something great was going to happen when I woke up in such a good mood today.
Even this weather can't put a damper on the demoiselle's mood.
It's a pleasure to see you both again.
Oh, hey, Navia! It's been a few days. Paimon's already started to miss you.
Oh, now that I believe. I'm easy to work with and always bring home the bacon. Who wouldn't treasure having a partner like me?
Sounds like you're really enjoying life these days, Navia. What have you been busy with since the trial?
It's just been one thing after the other. I've been making non-stop trips between Poisson and the courts in Sen. Everyone from Spina di Rosula organized a memorial for my father. We never held a memorial when he first died, since everyone knew that even if we held one back then, no one was going to come. This time, though, everyone in Poisson, and even many people from the court, all attended.
So his name's definitely been cleared now. That's what we like to hear.
It's been the dearest wish of Demoiselle all along.
That blasted stubborn fool. I was right to put my faith in him. I'm so glad I didn't give up on the case all those years ago.
Things turned out as well as they could have.
Oh, by the way, I ran into Charlotte just after I left the memorial service. Well, maybe it'd be more accurate to say I knew she would be there, and there was no way she'd just let me go.
Huh? So you know Charlotte too? The Charlotte? Journalist from the Steambird?
Yeah, way back when I first became the president of the Spina di Rosula, she was all over me. Wouldn't take no for an answer. I believe the story was called The True Heart of Darkness, Secret Tales of the Yellow Rose. To be fair, though, it was a really flattering feature. So, we've been on pretty good terms ever since. She was trying to lean on our friendship to get me to do an exclusive piece on the serial disappearances case.
Oh yeah, she told us about that. She's always been super interested in that case, so now her wish has finally come true too.
Anyway, I told her to make sure that when she writes about you guys entering the opera house with the critical evidence, that you both sound really cool.
Now that's another thing to look forward to. We trust Charlotte's skills with a pen for sure.
Oh, and in other news, I also took Clarand out for a meal.
Oh, are you two on better terms now?
While you were investigating Vaché's headquarters, Clarand gave testimony on my father's behalf. It was thanks to her that we were able to turn the tide. I wanted to thank her. I mean, there's also no point in being awkward all the time, so we took the chance to reconcile with each other.
Oh, that's great. Paimon also thought Clarand wasn't actually a bad person. It's always good to have more friends.
Anyway, now that the case has finally been solved, perhaps it will slowly begin to fade from the public consciousness. Oh, actually, there's still one last thing I need to do.
What is it?
I should pay a visit to my father's grave, and tell him the truth of what happened, as well as how it all ended. And on top of that, just how much people still look up to him, to this day. That includes me, too.
Miss Navia.
Indeed.
Can I come too? Warum?
We want to go too! We also think Callus is a really admirable person.
Sure thing. I'd like you two to share the moment with me. After all, without you, there might not have been such a positive ending.
And in that case, everyone, let's be off. Considering the recent weather, we'll be lucky if we can reach Poisson before dark.
Yeah, you're right. It's been raining non-stop for a few days now.
Uh-huh.
This is where my father's grave is. To be perfectly honest, even I haven't been back here for a long time.
Also ich habe ja lustige Grabsprüche gesucht, aber okay.
Huh? There's someone there already. Wait. That figure. It can't be... Isn't that Neuvillette? Why would the Chief Justice be here? Huh? Navia?
My apologies. I should have asked before coming to pay my respects.
Don't say that.
Sorry about that.
Oh, I was trying to say there's no need for you to apologize. I wanted to show my father how much I've grown, but still, I doubt I've grown to the point that even the Chief Justice would feel compelled to apologize to me over and over.
In that case, I will stop apologizing for now.
You really could use some pointers on understanding human emotions, Monsieur Neuvillette. In any case, why did you come to Poisson?
Well, ever since that day, I've been turning a question over and over in my head. Just what is justice anyway? There was once a time when I didn't want to believe that there could be anything more important to humans than life itself. Oh, rather than that, it's probably more truthful to say I didn't believe humans were capable of resisting the most basic instinct of living things. That they could rebel against their own nature, or consider certain things to be more important than their own lives. Which is also why I didn't stop your father from beginning that fateful duel. I believed that a truly innocent man would never throw away his life like that. That there was nothing, should have been nothing more important than one's own continued survival. But Mr. Callus proved me utterly and decisively wrong. If not for his sacrifice, the serial disappearances case would have remained unsolved to this day. Mr. Callus made the choice he did for his daughter, for his associates, and for many people completely unrelated to him. And in the end, from a certain perspective, one could say that he did it all for the sake of justice. A justice that's higher than life itself. So, you asked me why I came here. I just wanted to say my apologies to Mr. Callus in person. I should have noticed all of this much sooner. This regret has filled me with a sadness that has haunted me for days. That high and mighty chair in the opera Epiclese indeed insulates one from many important things. Spina di Rosula, thank you so much for your hard work and perseverance.
I'm sorry for being mad at you before. So, you're actually one of those types that's cold on the outside, but pretty thoughtful on the inside, huh? That reminds me of Silver, one of my guys.
Sorry about that. Self-expression is not one of my strong suits.
Didn't I just say you don't need to apologize?
Ah, so Navia and Neuvillette seem to have made their peace as well. Let's not disturb them for now. We can wait till after they're done. Paimon's never paid respects at someone's grave before. Did Paimon do anything rude there?
Sagte sie und ignoriert die ganzen Gräber auf Inazuma, die wir gesehen haben und Blumen niedergelegt haben. Aber gut. Well, you're not usually supposed to fly around someone's grave.
Huh? Oh, Paimon didn't know that was a thing. But Paimon doesn't know what she would do if she can't fly. Oh no. Paimon hopes Miss Navia won't be too mad.
Wow, she took it seriously.
Anyway, Neuvillette is still standing around there. It's not often that we can catch him alone like this, so why don't we go talk to him for a bit? If we can't talk to Lady Farina, we can at least talk to him, right?
Mhm. Dann erstmal mit ihr reden.
Paimon's really sorry, Navia, but Paimon did something pretty disrespectful just now.
What are you saying, Paimon? I don't think I get it.
Well, aren't you not supposed to fly around someone's grave?
Huh? Who told you that?
Hey, Traveler! Why did you mess with Paimon again?
Wow. Okay, kommt schon die Villette.
Oh, it's you two. Did Miss Navia invite you to come pay your respects to her father?
Mm-hmm. We ran into Navia on the streets today, so we just followed her here.
I see. Then is there something that I can help you with?
Well, it's pretty hard to run into you like this since you're usually super busy. So we figured we could try to ask you a few questions, if that's okay.
Please feel free. Though outsiders, you helped us solve one of the greatest mysteries in Fontaine, and it would be my pleasure to return the favor.
Oh mein Gott, er macht jetzt gerade den Archon-Teil. About water from the primordial sea.
So, at court, the bad guys referred to that special water as water from the primordial sea, but what is it really?
Truthfully, that name is already quite accurate. I can only surmise that Vacher and his ilk only learned of its nature and existence after extensive research. There used to be a special sea on the surface of this planet. The nature of its seawater was rather different from that of the sea we know today. Most of Tevat's life forms were first born in that special sea. You could say it nurtured much of the life on this planet.
Huh. So it really was where everything began. It makes sense to call it primordial then.
But today, the primordial sea no longer exists on the planet's surface. What Vacher discovered must have been some kind of special case, or a remnant from a truly ancient age.
Huh. So that's how it is. Oh, you really know everything, Monsieur Neuvillette. But if that's the case, then why would people, at least people from Fontaine, dissolve in that kind of water?
Indeed. Why would the primordial sea, which was known to engender and nurture life, suddenly reverse itself and devour life instead? To be frank, that also doesn't match my understanding of this world and its laws. There must still be some unknown secrets around the people of this land. Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about?
About the prophecy that has been circulating around Fontaine.
That the sea levels will rise and everyone will be dissolved in water, leaving Farina crying alone on her throne, but the sins of the people will be finally washed away for good. Does that appropriately summarize the version you've heard?
That's right! It was Linny that told us back then. And that about covers all the main points.
Yes, up to the present, I think we reached a point where we have no choice but to confront this prophecy directly. Rumors have it that this prophecy is rooted in the last words the former Hydro Archon left to the world before she passed away.
A prophecy? Of the former Hydro Archon? Wow. This is the first time that we've ever heard of it.
Two parts of the prophecy have already proven correct. The rising sea levels and the ability of the people of Fontaine to be dissolved. We should be more vigilant and stay on the watch for further signs. Speaking of the prophecy, Farina has also always taken it quite seriously. Indeed, she has been collecting information and intelligence from across Tevat for this purpose. If the rumors were true, then perhaps this prophecy is the conundrum left to Farina by her predecessor.
But with Farina being the way she is, can we really trust her to solve it?
Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about?
Wie mir der Frage ausweicht. About Schalde.
My apologies. My investigation has still not reached its conclusion. However, I still believe the judgment of the Oratrice was not rendered arbitrarily.
But you also said you thought he was innocent.
For many years, I have been quite aware that the Oratrice does not simply mechanically repeat the verdict that I give on each case. As a divinely created mechanism, the people's unified faith in the concept of justice is integrated into it. Not only can it produce the incredible power of indemnitium, but it likely also possesses other traits, such as self-awareness. Which is all to say, I have been prepared for a situation like this for a long time.
Huh. So when Linny told us that he heard a human voice from the room where the Oratrice's core is stored...
I was not aware such a thing had occurred. Perhaps that could serve to prove my conjecture. I will add that to the list of items to investigate. In any case, I am inclined to believe that the Oratrice does have a methodology all its own. We just do not have enough information. Based on Farina's reaction, I doubt even she had any idea what was going on. She managed to bluff her way through it, though, with her time-tested twin tricks of bravado and drama. While we do intend to get to the bottom of this, for now, we regret to say that the Fatui Harbinger will just have to bide his time in the fortress of Meripede. If we did incorrectly convict him of crimes he did not commit, we will most certainly compensate him to the fullest extent allowed by the law.
If you ask Paimon, the only compensation he'll want is a no-holds-barred fight with you.
Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about?
Wie er darauf keinen Kommentar gibt einfach. About my sibling.
Your sibling? Another blonde-haired traveler? I'm sorry, but I've never seen anyone who matches that description. If he ever stepped foot in Fontaine, I'm sure he followed our laws to the letter and had no reason to appear on the stage of the opera Epicles. Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about?
I have no more questions. Achso, jetzt komme ich auch hier raus erst. Okay. Gut.
Very well. It was my honor to provide you with what answers I could. I very much enjoyed conversing with you. It will soon be time for me to leave this blissful tranquility behind and return to Palais Memornia.
You really are super busy, Monsieur Neuvillette. Paimon thought you only came here to pay your respects today because you had the day off.
Crime and villainy do not have the day off, and so justice must work around the clock as well. This is merely the nature of a justice's work.
All right. You've got a point. Huh? Paimon just noticed that the rain has stopped.
Chapter 4, Act 4 complete. Side reinforced for reason. Quest completed. Aha. Ich glaube eine Con für den Traveler und ja, Folgequests. Side reinforced for reason. Complete erstmal. Ja, okay, gut. Noch irgendwas dazwischen? Nö. Guide. Achso. Das krieg ich jetzt. Die Billo-Belohnung. Ja gut, Character ist ein Ascension definitiv. Wo auch immer. Ah, da ist er. Gleich mal so weit hinten. Constellation, Swelling Lake, picking up a source water droplet restored 2 energy to the traveler. Grass pattern spotless waters. Ist das nicht das Ding, was hier in Fontaine rumliegt? Oder was auch immer. Irgendwas hier wahrscheinlich eher. After due to trial, achso, okay. Kriegt also Energie auch. Ja gut, okay, von mir aus. Kann den meisten egal sein. Außer man. Also, wenn man das Spiel gerade erst anfängt und wirklich nur durchspielt, dann sind die ganzen Sachen alle gut und praktisch und cool, die man freistellt mit dem Traveler. Die meisten zumindest. Wenn man aber halt schon seit Anfang an spielt und soweit alles mitnimmt, dann ist es relativ unnötig. Aber gut. So, hier gibt es nichts mehr, oder? Nö. Gut, dann kümmere ich mich jetzt direkt noch um die Quests danach, damit ich mich dann weitermachen kann. So, Another Horizon of Adventure. Jo. Commissions. Jetzt ist die Frage. Fange ich jetzt mit Contain Commissions an oder lasse ich es noch bei den Sumero Commissions, bis ich da die Quest weg habe? Ich weiß es nicht. Wenn ich jetzt auf Fontaine wechsle, dann... Das bringt mir halt nicht so viel, glaube ich. Die Daily Quests, außer halt die Quests, die dann hier auftauchen nach und nach. Wahrscheinlich werde ich es erstmal bei Sumero lassen, bis ich die Supremos Quest jetzt weg habe. Ich hoffe, das geht jetzt innerhalb der nächsten Woche oder so. Keine Ahnung. So, Catherine. That's a resource with adventure skills something I can help you with. It's Catherine again. This one must be a puppet too. Perhaps there shouldn't be another possibility. Is there something I can help you with? Are you looking to take a mission or send one out? I'm just taking a look. I see. If you've run into any guild-related issues, you can come and ask me. I will provide the utmost service for you and answer all answerable questions. Then we thank you for your contribution to the guild. Adventurer, we wish you smooth travels. Das ist billig. Aber okay, was soll's. Oh, die sind fertig? Können doch gar nicht so lange fertig sein eigentlich. Wobei, wann habe ich die weggeschickt? Um 9 Uhr, glaube ich, fertig kann das sein. Ah, egal. Die Dupe, jetzt können sie wieder bis morgen Mittag um 3 oder so ungefähr. Kurz vor 3. Zack, 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 dann sind die durch. Daily Quests hatte ich fertig. Die mache ich dann jetzt auch noch gleich. Was ist hier jetzt? Achso, Commissions. Ja, Fontaine könnte ich. Mache ich aber erstmal nicht. Wie gesagt, ich will die eine Quest jetzt erstmal fertig haben. In Sumero. Dann wechsle ich. Lieben gerne. So, ist hier irgendwas Neues, was ich fertig gemacht habe schon? Defeat 2 Breacher Primuses. Ach, das zählt nicht, wenn ich die in der Dingens platt mache. In der Dingens bumsen. Na, wie heißt das jetzt? in der Sphäre. Okay, ja, wo finde ich denn die Dinger? Wahrscheinlich irgendwo unter Wasser oder so. Go to Challenge. Da finde ich die, da wo es lila ist. War zu erwarten irgendwie, oder? Gehe ich da ganz schnell hin, damit ich die Quest weg habe? Ja, komm. Dann haben wir sie auch mal gesehen. So. Ja, da ist der Berg runter. Wenn ich jetzt gerade schon hier bin, Moment. Ich meine mich zu erinnern. Da oben. Okay, gehen wir mal nach oben. Ja, könnte ich jetzt, will ich aber nicht. Oder will ich doch? Scheiße. Das Ding war noch weiter oben, oder? Ich muss das Ding nutzen, um daran zu... Okay, dann ignoriere ich es erstmal. Aber da hinten ist noch eine Hydro-Dingens. Und jetzt, wo ich es gerade sehe, ich habe den Marker hier vergessen wegzunehmen. Zack. Aber hier waren auch Erze zum Abbauen. Kann ich den Marker also da lassen. Ich bin ziemlich sicher, dass die Marker, dass hier Erze waren. Zack. Gut. Ich mache die mal weiter dahin. Die Axt. Und hier mache ich dann den hin. So. Ja, kann ich das Event nämlich endlich zur Seite packen. Oh, dich habe ich heute zum Beispiel nicht gemacht. Interessant. Wenn ich mal bitte in die Luft, danke. So. Braucht zwar seine Items gerade nicht, aber wer weiß. Alles andere ignoriere ich. Wahrscheinlich wäre irgendein anderes Wasserbecken sogar dichter gewesen als das da, was ich jetzt anpeile, aber was soll's. Das heißt, die ganzen Mekas, die jetzt hier irgendwie rumgammeln, das sind alles Mekas, die gekauft worden sind von Banditen und Co. Oder eher geklaut. Trifft wahrscheinlich eher. Was macht ein Geolava-Juli hier, bitteschön? Was macht so ein Feuervogel hier? Alle, du bist ein Wüstenvieh. Habt ihr mich gesehen? Nein. Ich meine, von mir aus kann man sie halt hierher bringen, aber so rein ländertechnisch gesehen passen die hier nicht hin. Liegen zwar genau nebenan, aber ja. So. So seid ihr Natur. Oh, es gibt kleine Versionen und große Versionen. Cool. Interessant. Achso, sind das wieder andere Versionen als die ich schon hatte? Da können bitte die kleinen Szenen als gleiches Vieh. Damit das als 2 abgemurkst zählt für dieses Event. Ja, scheint so zu sein. Zack. Eugensynaps. Stimmt, ich sollte mal gucken, ob ich die Dinger für irgendwas brauche. Damit ich die direkt mal jagen gehen kann. Also ich muss in den Leaks gucken. Bevor ich das Fremine die vielleicht brauche. Gut. Treasure Chest und... Okay, die wollte ich zwar eigentlich gar nicht haben, aber egal. Zählt das jetzt schon als... Ja. Die kleinen zählen auch, aus irgendwelchen Gründen. Gut. Dann habe ich doch hier jetzt alles von diesem Event durch, oder? Completed. Ja, habe ich alles. Noch irgendwas, Testrun könnten wir nochmal machen, die Tage dann jetzt. Die Quest kann ich vielleicht mal morgen oder... Ja, nee, morgen vielleicht nicht. Vielleicht Dienstag machen. Treasure Sea, Origin of All Waters. Ja, das ist das Gebiet halt. Ja, I don't care about die, glaube ich, soweit. Na gut, einen Wisch noch für 70, 80 bei Lynette. Und Lynny habe ich halt nicht. Dementsprechend lohnt es sich nicht, dich zu machen. Ja, gut. Nö, was stand jetzt hier? Large Stone Beecher Primus. Wo ist der Unterschied zu den anderen Dingern, die ich gefunden habe? Das heißt, die anderen, das waren andere Gegner, die ich da gefunden hatte? Okay. Ist ja, okay, ich finde es interessant. Die nehmen jetzt einfach Gegner und machen einfach Element Copy-Paste. Lass ich raten, das ist das gleiche Ding wie schon das andere Ding, was ich hatte, nur dass das Ding hier Geo hat und nicht Elektro wie in der 1 wäre. Shadowstone Reacher Primus, der hat den gleichen Text. Large Shadowstone. Also wenn ich jetzt Speech suche. So, was hatten wir hier? Large Overgrown Feature Primus. Aha. Overgrown, weil Dendro. Die sind auch irgendwie traurig, dass die nie wieder vorkamen bisher. Die kommen so selten vor, die sind echt nur in der Chasm bisher gewesen. Ich habe schon ganz vergessen, dass es Dinge eigentlich gab. Die müssten mal irgendwie öfter in der Welt rumgammeln. Okay, Ankündigungen hatte auch ein, zwei, glaube ich, aber trotzdem. Irgendwie? Das sind die, wo man halt nicht mit Schilden gegen kämpfen sollte. Eigentlich müssten die ja gerade hier dann mal wieder vorkommen. Ja. Shatterstone, Reacher, Primus, Larger, okay. Gut. Von mir aus. Also verschiedene Varianten wieder nach Elementen. So. Steamworld Interview. Dupdi-dupdi-du. Teleport Waypoint. Zumindest ist er relativ dicht. Und das ist dann das Commission-System. Weil natürlich hier die Post für mein Ansehen zuständig ist klar. Euphrasie. Truly spectacular. Weather today, no? Yes, truly. Only the weather was this cooperative every workday. I should be quite merry today. What? And speaking of work, my dear, you are here to interview the troubleshooter position advertised in our Tales of Humanity section. That are you not? I am troubleshooter. Excellent. You didn't ask any question about the title, troubleshooter. And thus it can be some miss that Ethan's word choice while eccentric is simple and easy to understand. Putting that aside for the moment, would you like to know how I was able to correctly ascertain that you were here for the job and not seeking to ask for help in our Tales of Humanity section? Observation. Every citizen who comes to the SteamWorld seeking help appears anxious and jittery. But your steps are relaxed, your expression calm. Those who are fortunate are all the same. Those who fall victim to misfortune all have their own woes. But you needn't worry, those who seek assistance from others here at Tales of Humanity haven't run into any serious trouble, so it shouldn't be hard to handle. Have a look at this batch of commissions. Wie jetzt? Lockt auf Dingens. Ich habe jetzt 22% auf Fuck My Life. Okay. Auf Level... Sag mir nicht, dass es schon wieder jetzt lockt, dass ich da nicht raufkomme aufs Level. Okay, 20% erkundet. Das funktioniert, das wird nicht hinkommen, oder? Prelude of Blancheur Nocroix, a slight rainfall without reason. Slight rainfall without reason. Ich krieg die 450 nicht zusammen für Stufe 2 für die Reputation-Dinger. Ich habe ein Déjà-vu, weil das nicht in jeder anderen Region auch schon so, dass das nicht in der ersten Woche ging. Außer man hat halt Hardcore gesuchtet und einfach nur stumpf erkundet, ohne irgendwas zu machen. Another Horizon of Adventure. Aquarius Tide Marks. Truly Mouthwatering. Ja, und das ist jetzt alles wieder mehr oder weniger Dingens. End Story wenn ich ja schon lese, End Story Prolog. Samos Story Prolog. Okay, es gibt 2 Riesenquests, die weitere Formen noch haben dann demnächst. Okay. Seymour, habe ich Seymour nicht schon mal gehört? Hm. Ja, gut, das heißt Bounties und Requests kann ich doch diese Woche noch nicht hier machen, weil fuck it, anscheinend. Ich könnte, wenn ich... Ja, nee, ich werde nie im Leben jetzt in einer Stunde oder so 18% Erkundung hinbekommen. Nee, never. Und 5 Quests werde ich auch nicht finden und machen können so schnell. Außer ich klicke mich einfach nur dumm durch. Ja gut, dann hat sich das ja wieder in dieser Woche. Recipe Steak, Tartar, Step by Step, ja, leck mich. Gut. Ja, ich glaube, ich muss mal einen kleinen Block wieder rauslegen, weil ich brauche einen Block, wo ich mir Sachen notieren kann, schnell. All you need to do is find some time every week to read through the submissions to Tales of Humanity. Pick out a few commissions you'd like to handle and come find me to collect your payment. Some commissions are so drop dead simple you won't believe it, but you shouldn't underestimate the value of your work. For us, the problems in their submission may appear to be easy and insignificant, but for the readers submitting their problems, they are like a splinter under their fingernails, impossible to remove or ignore. We can help them extract these splinters, then in addition to the monetary rewards, you will also receive the respect and gratitude of the people, and your reputation among the citizenry will increase over time. When that happens, I will give you more complicated and important jobs. Help everyone to achieve happiness and be a lighthouse illuminating humanity, such is the calling of our paper. Such are the feelings and aspirations of every publisher. No need for an interview. Your interview was completed before you even arrived. Don't be surprised, I have my ways. If I couldn't even manage that, how could I manage a newspaper? Alright, I've told you everything you need to know about this job. As for whether or not you want to take it, that's up to you now. Think it over. Ja gut, das heißt, ich muss jetzt noch die dieswöchigen TGC-Dinger machen. Ich muss noch die Weeklies machen. Ich muss noch meinen Resin loswerden. Vor allem noch den zweiten Boss, der da heißt Skara. Ich will nur nicht in die Bredouille geraten, dass ich seine Items mal irgendwann wirklich brauche. Hat er einen Questmarker gerade gehabt oder habe ich mir das eingebildet? Muss ich mir eingebildet haben. So, dann bleibt für morgen eigentlich Anne's Story, also Anne's Quest. Ja, ich werde die jetzt mal nicht aktivieren, weil ich keinen Bock habe, dass die irgendwie mir in den Weg kommt, wenn ich hier rumrenne. Oder irgendwelche NPCs geblockt werden. Glaube ich zwar nicht, aber die aktiviere ich dann, wenn ich es auch mache. So, Water and Missing Person Case. Ja, okay. Sonst ist hier nichts gerade. Hier ist das Ding. Eventuell werde ich ein paar Rezepte wieder lernen, die ich jetzt neu bekommen habe und so weiter, damit ich meine Weekly-Dinger damit voll bekomme. Kann noch einmal das machen, theoretisch, und ich kann die Dinger auch nochmal loswerden gleich. Eventuell. Gut. Quests. Ja, jetzt wird das jetzt immer wieder angezeigt. Achso, musste ich jetzt mit der Quest warten bis nach der Akon-Quest? Kann das sein? Deswegen wird sie jetzt angezeigt. Muss eigentlich. Ah, ja, musste ich. Ich hätte die vorher gar nicht machen können. Good to know. So, gucken wir mal, was in Mondstadt gerade für ein Typi hier in der Dingens Weekly Commission ist. Weil dann haue ich den jetzt einfach direkt hinterher hier. Dann brauche ich den nicht extra aufnehmen gleich. Wie die Angelquest. Jo, falsche Richtung. Da will ich hin. So. Das Ganze mache ich auch nur für die Münzen halt. Also von daher brauche ich eigentlich nicht mal. Der Fortune ist noch open. Ja, I don't care. Oh, ja, die ist glaube ich neu. Was sagt mein Dokument auf dem Desktop? Ich glaube, ja, ist nicht mehr notiert. Nö. Dann. Ja gut, eigentlich heißt sie Miko, wenn man es mal genau nimmt. Wieso kann ich... Achso, falscher Knopf. So, kann ich auch ein X reinsetzen, statt ein S. Jetzt die ganzen neuen Charaktere geforst werden. Das heißt, sie hat Elektro, das heißt, oh, meine Combo ist gleich kacke. Naja, egal.
It seems like I've underestimated the popularity of this game. I suppose this calls for a few more volumes of King of Invocations.
Ja, okay. Was zu erwarten, dass sie so denkt. Ich meine, es wird bei ihr publiziert, von daher. Und wenn das Card-Spiel verkauft, dann muss der Manga Light Novel weiterlaufen. Gut. Let's Play, ja, ich habe nur ein Deck. Ich habe mir noch nicht die Mühe gemacht, mich weiter drum zu kümmern. Von daher, weg damit, weg damit, weg damit. Ja gut, ich habe Lios oder wie er heißt. Einfach das normale. Oh, stimmt ja. Sie hat auch Fische. Die haben beide, glaube ich, die gleichen Fähigkeiten oder mehr oder weniger gleichen. Gut, das ist eine nice Starthand. Weg damit. Die Würfel laggen, kann keiner aber sagen. Mit V-Sync laggen die. Ich weiß nicht warum. Vielleicht sind die Animationen so schnell, dass das dann nicht hinterherkommt mit V-Sync. So, eigentlich ist das eine richtig schnelle Runde jetzt, wenn ich nämlich den Typen habe. Dann kann ich eigentlich noch den dazu machen und dann kann ich, zack. Ja, lass mich ausrufen.
By royal decree.
Doop-di-doop-di-doo. Und dann wechsle ich, dann greife ich mit Golay an. Oh, das passt perfekt. Und ich kriege sogar eine extra Einheit auf Lippen. Was macht die überhaupt? Haha, aber weit. Wieso ruft er jetzt schon? Ey, come on. Achso. Oh, das wäre fast in die Hose gegangen. Ach nee, ich habe doch noch einen für extra für Lippen. Ich muss ja einen opfern fürs Auswechseln. Gut, hab nichts gesagt. Oh, Meister, was soll das? Wieso trägt er auf dem Artwork den Craftable Bow? Das finde ich irgendwie merkwürdig. Warum? Müsste ja nicht eigentlich sein... Ja gut, der Bogen sieht natürlicher aus. Ja gut, sie tragen 4-Sterne-Waffen wahrscheinlich. Wenn man die Waffe sieht, tragen sie 4-Sterne-Waffen, weil die nicht ganz so bling komisch aussehen. Die 4-Sterne-Waffen sind natürlicher vom Optischen. Muss man schon sagen. Von daher, ja. Die 5 Stars, die sehen auch nur auf den Charakteren selber, wenn überhaupt, gut aus. Also wirklich gut. Auch wenn ich Todas Remembrance immer noch irgendwie ekelhaft finde, aber... Wobei Kaguras Variety finde ich auch komisch, aber naja. Was ist denn das für eine beschissene Hand? Ach du Scheiße, ich habe noch nie so eine beschissene Hand gesehen. Und gerade so kann ich nur bursten. Was switcht die hier 24/7 durch die Gegend? So. Play Card auf Coley. Und dann kann ich mich strong bursten. Zack. Kapui. Überleg gerade. Kann ich wirklich angreifen? Könnte ich damit finishen? Nee, damit könnte ich finishen. Die Frage, will ich es riskieren? Muss 2 Karten loswerden? Ja, komm. Ein toter Gegner ist ein guter Gegner. Außerdem soll die Ost nicht nochmal wieder refreshen können.
Descend once again. Come on out.
Ja, ich hab nichts mehr. Das war dumm, weil jetzt kriegt er nämlich Elektro und dann wieder Ende und Intro ab. Also irgendwie. Das war nicht ganz durchdacht. 3 Damage, oder? Fuck. Ach ja, die sind irgendwie gleich. Nur ihre bleiben irgendwie länger. Anscheinend. Und ihre sind mit ihrem Burst verbunden. So. Das weg, das weg, das weg, das weg. So. Die laggen wirklich die scheiße Würfel. Das ist mir vorher nie aufgefallen, aber vorher hatte ich auch nie V-Sync an. So. Ja, kann ich erstmal halten. Bringt es irgendwas? Ich kann wechseln, das bringt mir aber nichts. Ich kann auch einfach dich direkt ausschalten. So.
Flowers haven't bloomed yet.
Im Best Case kann ich jetzt... Wieso konnte sie nicht angreifen? Achso, sie ist noch am Zug. Ich wollte gerade sagen, hä? Da war irgendwie ein kleiner Hänger bei ihr drin. Eigentlich müsstest du jetzt Kohle drauf gehen lassen, oder? Ja. So, Elektro hast du drauf. Dann würde ich sagen, Terror Chicken, oder? Terror Chicken kann dir dann Dento Damage machen. So. Einmal austauschen, bitte. Zack. Oh, nächste Runde ist das Ganze zu Ende. Ja, Daily Commissions kann ich natürlich... Weekly Commissions kann ich jetzt nicht machen. Boss brauche ich auch nicht unbedingt aufnehmen. Wait, hätte ich nicht weniger haben müssen? Dann passiert immer aus Charakter bevor... Also... Oder habe ich noch... Doch, hä? In meiner... die Karte bringt mir eh nichts mehr, dann kann ich auch... Wieso ist Kohle nicht tot? Was geht denn jetzt ab? Habe ich gewechselt? Wieso? I'm confused. Okay. Egal, end round. So. Ein Damage. Noch ein Damage. Ich fand diese Dinger immer merkwürdig, aber mit Kraken, Aggravate und so weiter macht das schon Sinn. Oh, die Scheißdinger sind gegen das Terror-Shroom-Ding Kacke. Die nehmen ihm seine Stacks wieder weg für den Burst. Fuck. Ist aber egal, wer angreift. Sie hat noch 1 HP. Nee, die Weekly-Dinger habe ich jetzt nicht, die ich machen kann, weil mir wieder mal die Dingens dafür fehlt. Die XP oder die Quests.
I'm always watching.
Was habe ich noch, was mir fehlt? Habe ich noch was mir fehlen könnte? Nicht wirklich. Ja, halt der Weekly Boss. Vielleicht noch ein zweiter Weekly Boss fürs Battle Pass Ding. Sachen craften. Exit. So, jetzt habe ich die aufgenommen.
Congratulations, you won. Come on now, let's hear your victory speech.
Ja. Gut, die anderen muss ich mir später mal angucken vielleicht, aber wir haben es auch schon wieder 0:08 Uhr. Ich wollte gar nicht so lange heute. Ich mache die Quest morgen, glaube ich schon. Ich habe keinen Bock, dass die hier 24/7 angezeigt wird. Spätestens Dienstag halt, aber gut. So. Wie gesagt, Weekly-Dinger muss ich gleich noch machen. Ich muss noch gegen Scarra kämpfen. Noch irgendwas hier, was ich machen müsste, was mir jetzt gerade einfällt. Inazuma. Hier runter. Dahin. Zack. Das könnte ich auch gleich bei der Angelquest machen, wie es, glaube ich, gestern bei der Angelquest gemacht? Weiß ich nicht. Aber gut. Ich würde sagen, die Ozeaniden-Quest, die werde ich einfach hier hinterschneiden. Das ist zwar eine Aufnahme, die vor der Archon-Quest passiert ist, aber ich werde jetzt einfach nicht die Archon-Quest schneiden. Bin ja nicht drauf eingegangen, in beiden Fällen. Feed. Ich glaube, ich habe noch genug Futter. Wie oft muss ich die füttern? Alle guten Dinge sind 3? Wahrscheinlich nicht. Wahrscheinlich öfter, oder? Muss ich nebenbei stehen bleiben und gucken, wie sie essen? Nö. Gut. So, was habe ich jetzt noch? Ja, Resin, Weekly-Dinger und die TGC. Die TGC sind aber nicht allzu wichtig. Ich habe alle Karten, die man braucht und das ist sowieso nur so nebenbei. Ja, Resin. Resin. Kochen. Wir werden uns die neuen Gerichte mal angucken, glaube ich, ganz kurz. So, zack. Werden sie mir jetzt neu gekennzeichnet oder? Nö. Oh, cool. Ich bin Rukashava-Pilz, aber ist mir egal. Ich habe eh keinen Bedarf, das Ding zu craften. So. Es gibt bisher immer nur ein goldenes Essen. Das ist natürlich ein Liebegericht. Wie wäre es mal neue Dinger bringt, aber okay. Was soll's. Die sind natürlich im Early Game, sind diese Dinger hier fürs normale Playthrough sind die extrem geil. Im Early Game, wenn man nichts Besseres hat. Aber da ist halt alles Food eigentlich geil. So. Ich meine, wir haben ja gesehen, welche Sachen ich gekauft habe. Von daher, Ingredients werden halt in dem Fall immer dann irgendwie die Sachen sein, die man in dem jeweiligen Land bekommt. Hier sind ein paar Sachen. Samosa sieht aber eher nach Sumero aus. Pâté. Habe ich schon fertig anscheinend. Cream of Mushroom Soup. Garlic Baguette. Ja, Butter und Weizen hauptsächlich fürs Brot. Keine Ahnung. Macht Butter da Sinn? Keine Ahnung. So, dann habe ich die Weekly Dingens Quest da. Die Angelquest mache ich jetzt gleich noch ganz schnell, die nächste. Hoffe, dass die schnell geht. Und dann mache ich für heute Schluss. Dann werde ich nämlich nur noch den Daily Kram und Weekly Kram machen. Denn heute will ich wirklich mal eher aufhören. Also, ist hier noch was? Ich würde sagen, den Testrun mit Dingens machen wir dann einfach, wenn ich seine Quest spiele. Und Relic Records, Kirchen of the Hydronation sind auch fertig. Gut, dann, ja, war ich schon mal Richtung Fischertante. Fontaine. Dass hier kein Teleporter am Strand ist, geht mir so hart auf den Sack. Dass man immer hier ins Wasser runter muss. Oh Mann. Und weil es mich ankotzt, mache ich jetzt einfach den hier schon, weil er mich andauernd triggert. Oh, ich muss sogar in die Richtung. Cool. Ja. Gib mir deine Ability. Oder auch nicht. Warte, war ich nicht hier vorne wegen der... Doch, hier war ich vorhin runtergegangen. War ein Hydrokuli, den ich hier nicht einsammeln durfte vorhin. Ich will... Hallo? Will ihn haben. Sich raten, der führt mich auch genau zum Hydrokuli. Challenge failed? Was? Hä? Wie Challenge failed? Verarsch mich nicht. Habe ich einen übersehen oder was? Das wollte ich nicht. Also, und jetzt kann ich hier natürlich nicht mehr in die Höhle rein. Ist klar. Gut, wieder dahin. Warte mal. Wo ist denn der hier? Ich glaube, ist der... Nee, der ist weiter weg, aber der ist weiter oben schon. Kann es nicht wirklich einschätzen, aber okay. So, wo war jetzt das Problem hier mit dem? Die Zeit? So. Wo war das Problem? Weil ich ihn verpasst habe? Achso, ich muss accelerated sein. Deswegen. Ah. Okay. Akzeptiere ich. So, jetzt habe ich das Ding auch schon mal weg, wenn ich hier die Quest mache. Den Fishing-Spot haben wir gesehen, den neuen. Ich habe vergessen, wo er ist, aber egal. Wo war denn der neue Fishing-Spot? Da ist die... Ja genau, hier ist die Quest mit der Ozeanide. Genau, ja, das sehen wir jetzt halt schon hier auf der Karte, aber ignorieren wir das einfach mal. Denn, wo war denn der? Den da hatte ich. Ah, hier war der. Glaube ich. Auch kein Teleporter wieder. Fuck the shit. Gut. Dann... Die Seele geht mir auf den Sack. Wo geht die hin? Ich will nur wissen, wo die hingeht. Da geht sie hin. Hallo, ich möchte... So. Lass mich in Ruhe, ich will zu der dahin. So. Aber dann mache ich jetzt hier Schluss für die Ankündigungen und so weiter. Ich sag ciao und bis dann. Kurz und knapp. Und dann folgt jetzt die Ozeaniden-Quest und so weiter. Und irgendwann, wenn ich diese Daily Quest 3 fertig habe, Daily Quest, ja doch, eigentlich ist ein Daily Quest in Anführungsstrichen, Daily Overworld Quest fertig habe, dann schneide ich die irgendwie mal dazwischen. Als einziges Video, als alleinstehendes Video, wie auch immer. Bis dann. Ciao.